Hello and welcome to another art house movie review. This time I'm reviewing the film Beau is Afraid, directed by Aster. Now let me start by saying that I did not enjoy this film. I found it a really grueling experience. But perhaps I'm going to start with what I liked about the film, because there are many things to like. The first thing is that it's really imaginative, it's really creative. The sets are fantastic and the cinematography is really good. There's even some animation in this film which really works. So there's a lot to enjoy in looking at this film. It looks fabulous. I really liked the opening of this film and kind of the glitchy interference. We don't know whether we're in reality or not. We do realise that we're in a scary, strange world, and I really liked the scenes in the city outdoors. It's really crazy and mad and really engaging at the start of the film. But I'm afraid my level of engagement decreased as the film went on. The first reason for this is the length of the film. It's 3 hours long and it's really tedious. I understand that this film started off as a short film, and it probably should have stayed that way, because making it into a 3-hour film, I just found it really difficult. It made me think a little bit of the dream sequences in David Lynch's Inland Empire, because I always think that of Lynch's films, this film, the dream sequences start to get a little bit boring. They're a little bit too long. And I think the possible reason for this with David Lynch is that this was the first time he used a digital camera. Previously he'd used film. So there was no kind of physical limitation on how long he could shoot. Now, there's a lot I like about Inland Empire because it's David Lynch. But Beau is Afraid felt like the whole thing was a dream sequence. It was 3 hours of dream sequence, and it just felt too much. I wasn't 100% sure about the play within the play. It does kind of change the pace of the film, and I like the way it breaks the fourth wall. And again, we have no idea of what reality is. But I'm not really convinced that this worked. The biggest problem for me with the whole film actually is that everything is meaningless. Nothing has any traction, because you know we're in this kind of dream world. Nothing matters. And therefore the film never really drew me in. It all works at a surface level. There are no feelings or emotions. But while there's no emotion or feeling as a viewer, the whole film is wallowing in kind of therapy type analysis of guilt and needy mothers and sexual repression. There is literally nothing else in this film. And in this way it feels very personal, but at the same time totally self-indulgent. 3 hours of this is just too much. And there's no resolution to any of these issues. We're just left wallowing in a swamp of paranoia, toxic memories, and mental health problems. Now, all that said, it's a great performance by Joaquin Phoenix, but it's just too much. He's in one mode for the whole film, this kind of semi-conscious, confused state. It's really well acted, but there's just no variation in it. Now, when I don't enjoy a film as much as this, I always try to pause and really probe whether I'm missing something, whether there's more. I think there is possibly something interesting in the therapist turning up at the end. It did make me wonder whether the whole film is we're actually in Beau's therapy sessions. And that's why the therapist is there, that actually we're moving towards a liberation, that there is a resolution for Beau. We're moving towards his liberation from these traumatic issues. Perhaps, but I'm not fully convinced on this. In conclusion, this film is really stylish but short on substance. There's no poetry in this film whatsoever, even though it looks amazing, and it's skin deep emotionally. And finally, it's far, far, far too long, and there's really no excuse for this. Personally, I just can't recommend this film. Thanks for watching. See you next time.